रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोऽस्तु ते सप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमा ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यादेशतारिणे नाम चिन्तामणि कृष्णश्चैतन्य रसविग्रह पूर्णशुद्धो नित्यमुक्तो अभिन्नत्वां नाम नामिनो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवात्सादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे हरे ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुका नष्टप्रायेष्वभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी Sanatana Goswami, Srila Sanatana Goswami glorifying Shrimad Bhagavatam. Sarva Shastra Bipiyusha Sarva Vedaika Satfala Sarva Siddhanta Ratnadya Sarva Lokaika Dekprada Sarva Bhagavata Prana Shrimad Bhagavata Prabhu Kali Dvando Ditta Ditya Shri Krishna Parivartita परमानंद पाठाय प्रेम वर्षि अक्षराय ते सर्वदा सर्वसेव्याय श्रीकृष्णाय नमोऽस्तु मे मदेक बंधु मत्संगिन् मद्गुरु मन्महादना मन्निष्ठारक मद्भाग्या मदानंद नमोऽस्तु ते असाधु साधु तादायिन्नति नीचोचताकरा हानमुञ्चा कदाचिन्मां प्रेम्ण हृत्कण्ठयो स्फुरा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा yeah Hare Krishna to all the assembled devotees. Please bless
Hare
me.
Krishna.
My humble obeisance to all of you. All glories to the Vaishnavas who have assembled over here. Please bless me that I speak the right words in the right mode. To whatever understanding I have got through these 4 verses, I will convey that to you. If there is any shortcomings, please forgive me. And any thing to be added, always welcome to add and help me also. So today we are in the 16th chapter of the 4th canto, the creation of 4th order. I will be covering from 4th verse onwards. So we see that how King Anga, first it was all about Dhruv Maharaj, right? And then from there, they started. The discussion was about the descendants of Dhruv, where we saw King Anga, then how his son Vena, who was very irreligious, how the sages of that time were so powerful and so pure in their chanting of the mantras that they had the ability to kill him by the mantras and also replace with a new king, the ruler of the world. So that is what we understand how our scriptures are so profound, and and the earlier sages, they were so pure and self-realized. And then here we see how Prithu Maharaj was born out of the churning, whether it was the arms or the thighs. It was the churning of the
thighs.
it was the thighs or the arms?
Thighs. Prithu Maharaj arms. Prithu
We
Maharaj
came from the
arms.
arms, Mataji, arms.
Arms. And what came out from the thighs?
Bahuka.
Bahuka.
Bahuka. Yeah. So all the irreligiosity, everything was first removed. First the purification was done, and then came out Prithu Maharaj. He did not come alone. He came along with
Archie.
Archie.
Archie,
Yeah.
Mataji.
Yes. Archie. Yes, Naimisha. So we see that how Prithu Maharaj was born, his birth date, marriage date, everything was on the same day, right? And then how the Vandis and the Magdas, they were all chanting about glorifying him, praising the Lord. Why were they praising? How did they know that Prithu Maharaj is, first of all, what kind of a avatar is Prithu Maharaj? He is a Shaktivesh avatar. Yes, partial incarnation. He had the power to partial incarnation of what? What power he was given? The power to rule, right?
Rule the world.
Yes, he was given the Palana Shakti. Prithu Maharaj was given the Palana Shakti. So the Vandis and the Magdas, they were praising him. They were praising at the request of whom? Who told them that Prithu Maharaj is an incarnation? And on what aspect was it told? What was that they could recognize him as a partial incarnation?
Lord Brahma said, and there was the sign of lotus on his feet.
And
on the palm also.
And he
there
had
was
the conch. He had the
palm.
and on this palm, what was the sign? What was the chin on the palm?
The conch.
The disc, right?
Lotus. Chakra.
The disc, yeah. The chakra was there on the palm, and on the feet there were lotus. So they could understand, and that's they were told by uh, Lord Brahma that to glorify him. But Prithu Maharaj did not accept that glorification. So what do we understand? Why did he reject that glorification?
Humbleness.
Yeah, that expressed his humility, right? So be seeing him so humble, the Vandis, they glorified him again. So we see that the glorification, they continued to glorify his humility, right? They having the taste of glorifying his activities were encouraged by the sages. This is what we saw from 1 to 3. Now 4 to 5, we will see they further glorifying him. They say that how Prithu Maharaj, he upholds the dharma, right? And he acts like the demigods. Then it's 6, and then his actions are compared to various demigods from 6 onwards. So through these verses, let us understand the characteristics of Prithu Maharaj. Okay, so we go on to the 4th verse, which says that एष धर्माभृतां श्रेष्ठो लोकं धर्मे अनुवर्तयन् गोप्ता च धर्मसेतूनां शास्ता तत्परिपन्थिनाम्. Yes, Mataji, one by one can recite, then the translation and the purport.
Hare Krishna, Anusiya Mataji, read the translation and Shanti Mataji the purport. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
If one of
Mataji.
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna Mataji, one of you all can keep the camera on so the communication can be, no voidism will be there.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Yes, thank you,
Translation
Mataji.
by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This king Maharaja Prithu is the
The
best.
verse, Mataji, you can recite the verse as well.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you. Esha dharmavrutam shreshto lokam dharmenu vartayan gopta cha dharma setunam shasta tat paripantinam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This king, Maharaja Prithu, is the best among us those who are following religious principles. As such, he will engage everyone in the pursuit of religious principles and give those principles all protection. He will also be a great chastiser to the irreligious and atheistic. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Atheist.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So here the verse says that Esha Dharma Britam Shreshto. So they are glorifying Prithu Maharaj and saying that Prithu Maharaj will be Shreshta. Like he would be the best among those who are following Dharma. Lokam Dharme Anuvartayan. That means he will guide others also to follow the Dharma. Gupta cha dharma setunam Gupta. He will be the protector. He will protect the dharma. Shasta tat paripantinam. He will chastise those who are adharma. Right? So here we see that dharma, dharma, dharma. So what is dharma? What do we understand by dharma? What is our dharma?
Our dharma
With
is
the
To
to
follow the
understanding to
prescribed
the
duties.
Vedas and
follow
the
the footsteps of the
scriptures
To
Acharya.
be the eternal
of the
servitor.
Acharyas.
Our We are dharma
So
is
So
that
what
of
is dharma in
servant of
general
Lord.
when we
Religious
uh,
religious activities, Mataji.
Hare
I
Krishna
cannot
Mataji.
hear Mataji. Yeah.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
What Krishna has told and we follow.
Prabhupada says dharma means something that cannot be removed from that thing. For example, dharma of sugar is being sweet. Dharma of fire is heat and light. It can never be removed from that. So
Dharma
we
is
also dharma, two dharmas, two swadharmas. One is that of the soul and one for the material body. So the soul's dharma is Jivera Sarupaya Krishnera Nitya. And material body, we have so many dharmas. I'm a wife, I'm a daughter, mother, I'm born in this country, so many dharmas. Hare Krishna.
Good. Excellent. So that means it is a law, right? It's a code. Correct. A code of conduct, kind of a code, or that is what Prabhupada say. Dharma is a law. Right. So here we see that this Prithu Maharaj, he is Dharma. He is one, those who are following the laws, he is the Sreshta, Parama. He is the best amongst them. He will be anuvarta, like he will induce others also. That means he will encourage his subjects of his kingdom to follow the rules, follow the law. He will protect the law, right? And he will chastise those who are not following the law. This is how a leader should be. So we understand that how self-realized he is. So when we say self-realization, we should not understand that self-realization means only to know that who am I, right? Understanding, yes, we should understand who, but at the same time, we should be God conscious also. What is my relationship with the Lord? What is my relationship with others? What does the law says, and how we have to follow that? That is dharma. So here we see that Prithu Maharaj is said to be a dharmic, the follower of the law, and such a government, those who follow the rules, right? And if he is the head of the government, then he sees that the people are strictly following it. Right? That should how be a leader should be. So, likewise, I can say that the dharma is that if we follow the rules and regulation, the do's and don'ts, and we live a life, will not we prosper? Correct? If we follow the do's and we do not the don'ts, yeah, we should not be doing this. This will result, and as a result, what we get? The four purusharthas: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. In all the scriptures, understanding our desire, everything is given to us. But ultimately, the goal of it is to get liberated and then liberated from the material attachment and get into devotional service. So we have a law, that a law towards someone. As a parent, the law says that what is our duty towards our children. We have some law towards ourselves also, isn't it? What is those law that implies to us, our body? What is those law? How to protect us so that we prosper? How do we understand that? We all are following it. That brings us
Sir,
to the platform of, that brings us, no, the body, that brings us to the platform of a human being. That is what initially we come to Krishna consciousness. That is what we are told. We have to do this. That brings us to the platform of the,
I am not the body. I'm the
Four
soul.
regulative principles.
yes, the 4 regulative principles, right? That is also a law, right? What does it tells us? No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, right? Why are these laws to maintain, to get us to a human platform, so that we understand what is our dharma, what is the dharma of the soul. Unless we come to the platform of a human, we will not understand. Then we are just like animals. Like, everybody has got a free will, isn't it? We have God, Lord has sent us into this world because of a desire, and He has given a free will. But this free will, if it does not have a restriction, will we be disciplined? Right? If we have to have a disciplined way, we have to use our free will in a constrained way. Otherwise, it is same just like animals, right? So these laws have been come. These laws are there. It is essential for us to follow and to prosper. So the Vedas gives us a number of ways wherein we can do things in a regulated way, right? Once we do it, we self constrain our free will, then we can progress. So here we see that the king Prithu Maharaj, he was also strict in chastising the atheists. In another word, an atheistic or a godless government should never be supported by a king or a governmental chief. That is the test of a good government. In the name of secular government, the king or the governmental head remains neutral and allow the people to engage in all sorts of irreligious activity. This will result in downfall. In such a state, the people cannot be happy despite all economic developments, right? We see there are so many countries who are, they say that they are advanced. Are they advanced? There is sufferings. Climatically, they suffer, right? In various ways. So, however, in this age of Kali, there are no pious king. Instead, the rogues and thieves are elected to be the head of the government. But how can the people be happy without religion and God consciousness? The rogues exact taxes from the citizens for their own sense enjoyment, and in future the people will also be harassed, that according to Shrimad Bhagavatam, the harassment will be such that they will run away from their home and they will take shelter in the forest. However, in Kali Yuga, the democratic government can be captured. So the solution Prabhupada says is that it is by getting people becoming God consciousness, Krishna consciousness. In this way, the general populace will be happy. So the only way by which we can bring happiness in our life is by introducing Krishna in all our activity. So this is what this verse says, that we should follow, we should have certain rules and regulation, and we should have a leader, right, who will help us to go through that aspect, following the rules and regulation, and that leads to prosperity. So here it is said that Prithu Maharaj would be one amongst them, who is the best amongst those who are following the religion. So let us understand this by what, how in Krishna consciousness Prabhupada implemented it, right? In this, they say that the leader, like how we see that Prithu Maharaj, Prithu Maharaj himself was following. He would walk the talk, right? It is not that he is asking others to be religious and it is said that he is the Shrestha of those who are following the laws. Similarly, Prabhupada also, he introduced Krishna consciousness, but then he was a model. He showed us how to do. He would not deter from his chanting. He would always chant the prescribed rounds. He would follow all the regulative principles. Is that thus he would help us also. So we see that how Shrestha is Prabhupada in helping us in following the regulative principles, right? Then Anuvartate, here Prithu Maharaj would induce others also to follow the religion. How Prabhupada also, he came. He tried in our country, but nobody followed it. Nobody was ready to accept it. So he knew that he took the trick, that we have the habit of copying the Westerners. So what did he do? He went to the Western countries. He went there and he gave this mantra to the Westerners, right? And then through them, he spread it throughout the world. And thus he anuvartate. He made the people in this world follow this law of chanting the holy names, following the prescribed duty, for doing the regulative principles, following the regulative principles, right? And then he protected the Dharma. How did he protect the Dharma? How did he protect this? By translating a number of books. He gave us books. He told his disciples, come on, go and build temples, start preaching, do preaching, get everybody into Krishna consciousness. And then he challenged. Prabhupada never left even a minute to challenge those atheists, who would say that there is no God. Prabhupada would tell that they are demons, right? And we have to protect them. This is how Prabhupada established, through this example, that is how a leader should be. He should follow. He should make others also follow. He should bring out various activities to protect it so that everybody are engaged in those activities and chastise those who are not following it. That is an actual leader. And that is what it is told in this verse about Prithu Maharaj. It's clear? We'll go ahead.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah. Esha Vailokapalanam Bibarti Ekastano Tano Kale Kale Yata Bhagam Lokayor Ubayor Hitam. Yeah, one person can recite.
Hare
And
Krishna.
the translation.
Hare Krishna. Esha Vailokapalanam Bibartyehastano Tanuhu Kale Kale Yatha Bhagam Lokayo Upayor Hitam.
Naimishal can read the translation. Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat
Hare Krishna.
Pranam. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. This king alone in his own body will be able in due course of time to maintain all living entities and keep them in a pleasant condition by manifesting himself as the different demigods to perform various departmental activities. Thus, he will maintain the upper planetary system by inducing the populace to perform Vedic sacrifices. In due course of time, he will also maintain this earthly planet by discharging proper rainfall. Hare Krishna Mataji, Danvat
Hare
Pranam.
Krishna. Pranams. So here it is said that Esha Vailoka Palanam, that he will rule or he will regulate it just like the demigods. Bibharti ekas tanotano, that he bears alone in his body, the body, it is the same. Like why in due course of time he will maintain all the living entities and keep them in a pleasant condition by manifesting himself as different demigods to perform various departmental activities, like the basic necessities what we require, right? It is given us by when there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita which says, what was that verse? We need food. So from where do we get food?
Annat bhavanti bhutani.
Annat bhavanti sammoham. Parjanyat anna sambhavaha yajnat bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhavaha.
So what it is said
Show
that
the puppet.
All living bodies subsist on food grains. Yeah.
And food grains we get it through
from the rains.
and the rains from
Yajna.
By
and
yajna,
sacrifice.
sacrifice.
And the yajna by doing your
prescribed duty.
prescribed duty. Yes, that is what. That is the ultimate. That you have to do your prescribed duties. We have the 4 varnas, the brahmanas, the kshatriyas, the vaishyas, the shudras, right? The brahmanas, what is their duty?
Giving knowledge and preaching.
Preaching.
There are 6 duties. What are they?
Patan, Patan, Yajan, Yajan.
Danam. Find out. Okay, so and then they are the ones who will read, who has the ability to, they are the ones that are full of knowledge. And this knowledge, they will give it to the Kshatriyas and they will guide them. And the duty of the Kshatriyas is to protect all of us. And then we have the Vaishyas. What is their duty? Duty of the Vaishyas are?
Business, Mataji.
Trading.
Goraksha, Goraksha.
Brahmanas,
Mataji.
Yes, cow protection of the Brahmanas. It is their duty to see that to maintain the society, to get all the needs of the society. But now is it happening? No. The Shudras, they have to work for the society, right? This is how each and every, we have to do our prescribed duty. Without doing our prescribed duty, nothing happens. We step into others' duty, it will result in the fall down. So here here it is said that how our Prithu Maharaj, it says that the demigods in charge of various departmental activities that maintains the world, but they are the assistants of the Supreme Personality of God. So when the incarnation of the Lord comes down, he's accompanied by the demigods like the sun, moon, Indra, okay. And then consequently, this incarnation of the Godhead is able to act for the departmental demigods to keep up the planetary system in order. Right? That means his activities are compared to that of the various demigods. In the further verses, this statement will become clear. Okay, so we'll wait for that. So then in the protection of the earthly planet, how can you protect the earthly planet? Like, or the people, they should get first is the food. So you have to give anna. You have to do various. We are indebted to 6 people. Who are those 6 people?
Earth, Mother Earth, Sun.
Devarina, Pitrarina, Gururina, Rishirina, Gotarina, and the society. Nararina. Yeah, we are indebted to our teachers. We are indebted to the demigods. We are indebted to our Pitras, right? Who has given us this body. The Rishis, who has given us the various scriptures, right? The Bhutas, the animals, the cow, right? The bull that helps us in our activities. So these are so we have to do. So what does the king does? The king will follow, he will do all the religion, all the yagyas. Is he doing it for himself? No, to satisfy them, so that it brings prosperity to his kingdom. The people are satisfied. If the people get proper food, clothing, they will not go deviated. They can concentrate into why he is doing that, so that they get the sufficient source and they can concentrate in their spiritual growth. Otherwise, they will be hankering over for more and more wealth to satisfy their stomach, their responsibilities, and then they get deviated. So this is how he acts as various demigods for his people. Okay. Then it talks about this Annat Bhavanti Bhutani Parjanyat Anna Sambhava. Yagnat Bhavanti Parjanyo Yagna Karma Sambhava. Do your prescribed duty. Thus, proper execution of the yagyas and the sacrifices is required. So, in this Kali Yuga, is it possible? Are there proper Brahmanas? Do we have the Varnashrama system? We do not have. right? But still, we have to do things in a regulated way, right? Every activity we do, it should be as yagnartat karmano anyatra lokoyam karma bandhana. Everything should be done as a sacrifice. So with the activities we do as a sacrifice, what are we sacrificing? So how do we understand this?
Sacrifice in Mahamantra
We
also.
have to
Mataji.
sacrifice our time, Mataji.
By chanting, we are sacrificing.
Our
Chanting.
time, Mataji.
What is that you're sacrificing yours?
Time, dedication.
Anybody else?
Deviating from material activities,
Offering
chanting.
prasad.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mataji said deviating from material activities, right? How?
By
How
more
will you?
concentrating
By
to the
chanting.
by chanting.
Okay.
Tulsi
So
Aarti.
that is, we are sacrificing the ability to use our free will, right? We can do many things, right? But then we are doing our activities as an offering to the Lord with that self-restraint, sacrificing that free will which we have got, with which we can do anything, right? By being disciplined, by sacrificing the free will, coming into it in a disciplined manner, offering it. Otherwise, lokoyam karma bandhana. There is a reaction to every activity we do if we do it for our pleasure.
Sorry, Mataji. We have free will to do anything. So when we are doing chanting, how come you say that we are sacrificing the free will? I want to do
Chanting
chanting.
is spiritual activity.
So
Chanting
is
is
that
a
mean that
spiritual
we are
activity.
sacrificing?
Time,
We are doing it
Sacrifice,
for our good, right? So how come
yeah.
it's a sacrifice?
We are using our free will. How we are not going, you are using that free will to chant, using it for our benefit, for our spiritual growth, not using our free will to do as per our pleasure, our selfish desire. That way we have to understand.
Okay, even this is also our selfish that to get
For
mercy
spiritual
from God.
advancement, there is no
Okay,
harm in it.
okay, fine, Mataji, got it.
Selfish material desire, right? We can use our free will for that as well.
Okay.
So that is what it is said. To counteract all this, what does the Shastra advises? Hare Ranam, Hare Ranam, Hare Ranam. The answer is there in the verse itself, Mataji. Kalo nasti eva eva gatir anyata. There is no other. Thus, in order to counteract the unfortunate situation in the government, the general population is advised to chant the Mahamantra Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So that is how we have to regularize it. So let us understand how we can adopt it in what you call in our spiritual activity. So it says that Bibarti ekas tano, taking various roles for the benefit of the people. How can we benefit others? How can we benefit others?
Mataji, when we
How to
chant, those who hear will also
Preaching.
get the benefit, Mataji.
chanting is there, preaching is there, book
Teaching is
distribution is there. There are various ways. These are the things how various ways
Prasadam.
we can, yeah, prasadam, right? So then kale, when people like Prabhupada, right? He went when he went. Did he immediately go and started implementing it? He went during the time when the people were intoxicated. They were in search of something. They wanted something divine, but they did not know the right way. So they were taking the help of drugs to go into that ecstasy, right? So it was during that time Prabhupada accepted all that, but slowly he started giving this medicine also. So it was kale with time, in gradual process. Then lokayor upayor hitam, uplifting, externally and internally. Here it is said that Prithu Maharaj, he could balance the upper planet as well as the lower planet. He was satisfying the demigods as well as the people in. So how did Prabhupada help this upper and the lower? It is externally and internally. Externally, they wouldn't take bath, they would grow hair, they were living in very unhealthy condition. So Prabhupada helped them externally and internally, also helped them in their purification, right? They gave him the religious principles. So he externally and internally helped them to advance and spiritually. That is how we have to understand. Okay, Matajis? Is this also, can somebody wants to just summarize the first two verses we did? Or what are the takeaway point you got from here? Just 1 minute. So Prithu Maharaj was the first word. The fourth verse, what did it say? Prithu Maharaj was a Shreshta among
He was the best among them.
Yeah. And then he induced others also to follow.
Follow the same
Right.
path.
Yeah. He himself was doing, he used others. And then he gave protection also to the Dharma. And then he chastised. Correct? He did all the activities just like a demigod, doing all the yagyas for the betterment of the people in his country, in his king, or the entire world. Right? And thus he maintained a balance between the upper planet and the lower planet. Similarly, we can also maintain externally our upper planet, the external body internally, chanting the holy names by being clean, external and internal. Correct? So the verse 6. Hope I am clear. There is any doubt? No confusion, right? The 6th verse. Anybody could like to recite?
Hare Krishna, Rohini Mataji, you can read the shloka and Kripamai Mataji, the translation. Hare Krishna.
Pranam Mataji. वसुकाल उपादत्ते काले चायं विमुञ्चति समः सर्वेषु भूतेषु प्रतपन् सूर्यवद्विभुः. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, am I audible, Mataji? Thank you.
Yes, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, translation purport by the Father Prabhupada Ki Jai. This King Prithu will be as powerful as the sun god, and just as the sun god equally distributes his sunshine to everyone, King Prithu will distribute his mercy equally. Similarly, just as the sun god evaporates water for 8 months and during the rainy season returns it profusely, this king will also exact taxes from the citizens and return these monies in times of need. Thank you, Mataji.
Pranams. Okay, anybody would like to read the verse? They can read it because it's a short verse.
Hare Krishna. Purport by Divine Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The process of tax exaction is very nicely explained in this verse. Tax exaction is not meant for the sense gratification of the so-called administrative heads. Tax revenue should be distributed to the citizens in times of need during emergencies such as famine or flood. Tax revenue should never be distributed amongst governmental servants in the form of high salaries and various other allowances. In Kali Yuga, however, the position of the citizen is very horrible because taxes are exacted in so many forms and are spent for the personal comforts of the administrators. The example of the sun in this verse is very appropriate. The sun is many millions of miles away from the earth, and although the sun does not actually touch the earth, it manages to distribute land all over the planet by exacting water from the oceans and seas, and it also manages to make that land fertile by distributing water during the rainy season. As an ideal king, King Prithu would execute all this business in the village and state as expertly as the sun. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So here you see that how Prithu Maharaj would act as a demigod, right? In this verse, it must have become very clear. And then here it is shown that how Prithu Maharaj was Vasukale Upadatte, that is rich in due course of time, exact, in the due course of time, that is, he became as powerful as the sun god, and just as the sun god equally distributes his sunshine to everyone, he would distribute his mercy. Sarva Kaleshu Bhuteshu. He was always equal to all. He was neither partiality. There was no partiality, right? But in this material world, everything, tax collection, it is a big scam, right? Different ways they will come up with projects, right? They will increase the tender of the certain project, and they will, under the table, kickbacks are taken, right? And then what is the result? What is the outcome of that? The project ultimately falls down. Like that, in so many ways we can see. They come up with various welfare fund for that taxes are taken from the people's salary. Are the welfare fund being given, used for the welfare of the people? There are so many toll gates. You pay the money and you go ahead, you see that there are so many potholes on the road, right? Are the roads being maintained? No. In the name of rural employment, the taxes were taken, right? Mahatma Gandhi, rural employment, something, so many projects came up. But later on, what it was found, right? There were people who did not exist, and in their name, the money was taken, 100 days salary was taken. So this is how that is happening. That's what Prabhupada is telling. This is what is happening in the present age. But whereas in earlier ages, when the king Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was such a king who would follow the dharma, that even not only the people, it was the rivers, as they would flow, they would bring down so many minerals and fertiles, right? And they would enrich the land with fertility. The plants, the rains, they would get sufficient amount of rain. It is not that suddenly there is a drought or suddenly there is floods. No, they will get rain that sufficient enough that they get good crops, that will fill in their reservoirs. The plants, they will produce so many fruits which are very sweet and succulent, right? Different types of herbs for their needs. Everything, the plant, the animals, everybody would pay taxes with whatever capacity they had. That is because the king was good, the ruler was good. Similarly here, in fact, it was said that when Vena was ruling the world, right, because of his atrocity, Mother Earth had become so much fed up that she withheld everything within herself, right? And then later on, when Prithu Maharaj came, Prithu Maharaj, he had the ability. He went and fought against it. Right? He went to Mother Earth and asked her why it is that she is withholding it. Right? And then because of then she gave the reason, and then she flourished the land. So that is how the leader is. A leader should be, he should be sama sarva bhuteshu. Prabhupada also never showed any discrimination. Oh, I shouldn't be given the mantra only to this sect of people. No, it was equally distributed to everyone. Kale kale upadatte, gradually. It was not enforced. Gradually, he gave them. Even Prabhupada said that, Prabhupada would also take, Prabhupada said, whatever money you have, give it to me. And in return, he's not utilizing it for himself. He used it to construct various centers. Before, in 11 years, he had published so many books. He left us 80 plus books, translations, so many books, so many temples, 108 temples. Is it possible for a common man? That should be a leader. Right? He should do it for the welfare of the people. Pratapan Suryavad, just like sun, right? He gave the knowledge to all. Just like the sun also, he evaporates the water from the water bodies. Does he keep it to himself? If he is evaporating it, that is returned also in the form of rain. Similarly, the king, if he is collecting the taxes, he is not collecting the taxes for his own benefit. Whereas in the present world, we see that the taxes are collected and these are the politicians using it for their own benefit. They have the luxury car. They travel to places. But are the people being benefited by it? No. So the leader should always be, he should be sama sarva bhuteshu, and he should be equal to all. Take timely action, right? And we should be strong in the principles. When Prabhupada went, it was very, he accommodated to all the conditions, right? Wherever, sometimes he used to chant in the park. Sometimes he would go with a band, you know, and he would chant. There it's a Western music, but he did not, he was strong in his principles. He took advantage of that and he spread the Maha Mantra, right? And then even the condition in which he was staying, right, where they wouldn't take bath, they would eat whatever they get. But even in that condition, Prabhupada did not move. He stuck to his principle. That is how we should be. We should not get carried away by the surrounding. We should have strong faith in our principles. Right? We should do what is right. Otherwise, there will be chaos. That is what is happening now. In the name of religion, they do not know what it is. And the people, what happened in Kashmir. Everything is, that is because the people do not, there is no empowerment. They do not have the knowledge. When you do not have the knowledge, you will end up with such chaos. Now we go. Somebody's mic is on. Now the verse 7. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Varnali Mataji will read the shloka. Subhara Prabhuji, can you please mute yourself? Hare Krishna. Varnali Mataji will read the shloka and Meenakshi Mataji the translation. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Titikshati akramam vaina upari akramatam api bhutanam karuna shashvat artanam kushiti vittiman. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. The king Prithu will be very, very kind to all citizens, even though a poor person may trample over the king's head by violating the rules and regulations. The king, out of his causeless mercy, will be forgetful and forgiving. As a protector of the world, he will be as tolerant as the earth itself.
It's a small purport.
Hare
Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Hare Krishna Subhara
Host
Prabhuji.
can mute him, right? Please mute.
Radha Mataji. Kindly mute Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
May I read the purport, Mataji?
Yeah, yes, Navakishori Mataji can read.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Dandavat Pranam, Mataji. King Prithu is here in compared to the earthly planet as far as his tolerance is concerned. Although the earth is always trampled upon by men and animals, it still gives food to them by producing grains, fruits, and vegetables. As an Indian king, Maharaja Prithu is compared to the earthly planet. For even though some citizens might violate the rules and regulations of the states, he would still be tolerant and maintain them with fruits and grains. In other words, it is the duty of king to look after the comforts of the citizens, even at the cost of his own personal convenience. This is not the case, however, in Kali Yuga. In Kali Yuga, the king and heads of the state enjoy life at the cost of taxes exited from the citizens. Such unfair taxation makes the people dishonest, and the people try to hide their income in so many ways. Eventually, the state will not able to be not able to collect taxes, and consequently will not be able to meet its huge military and administrative expenses. Everything will collapse, and there will be chaos and disturbance all over the state.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
So here it is said that Prithu Maharaj is compared to be tolerant. Tolerance is concerned, right? He tolerated it. So when we hear about being tolerant, we see that even the district, it says that a sadhu is understood. He has a quality. Titikshava karunikaha, right? Suhurdam sarva dehinam. Ajata shatrava shantaha. Ajata shatra shantaha. What is the next line?
Sadhunam sadhu
Sadhu.
bhushana.
Sadva sadhu bhushana. So this is a quality that we have to be tolerant. So what is once I remember many months back I had given this. So there was a Prabhu who had asked me that to what extent should we be tolerant? There are so many injustices that takes place, right? Some people, some are being affected physically, mentally, right? So when they say that tolerant, so how do we understand that? Should we tolerate the injustice that is being happening? And we should bear it. And if we have to do that, to what extent should we tolerate? How do we understand this tolerate?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Once spiritual growth should not be checked, Mataji. Till then we should tolerate, Mataji. When there comes a problem that there is some hindrance to the spiritual progress, then we should start fight, Mataji.
Anybody else?
Hare Krishna Mataji, toleration is towards our body. Like if they are insulting anything to the person, we should not take it personally. But for the guru and the.
But then if he keeps tolerate, we are not to that level, no Mataji. If he keeps insulting again and again, you will tolerate it again and again.
That is what we have heard from the gurus and all, Mataji. We are trying to do that. Maybe we are not up to that.
So then we are giving again and again the yes, Mataji.
Tolerate just like tolerate the peace in Ishina, Tarura peace Krishna.
Yes, that is correct, Mata.
That is
yeah, tolerate like a
tolerate just like the tree and the
we can do that, Mataji. Is it possible?
Mataji, trying Mataji. Trying to do. And
okay. Yeah. So that tolerate is that this also, even I had this, what is that tolerate? So there was one lecture in our area. There was one Prabhu. He had come. So we asked him that, Prabhu, what is this tolerate? So whatever, if we are being insulted, so we should not retaliate. We should not make that person understand that this is not correct. They should not respond. So he still not tolerate is not external toleration. It is internally the toleration, the faith, what is happening with that, we should not move away from, just like Mataji said that, we should, the faith in the God should not go away, that God consciousness should not go. Still we have to be like how Suniti externally, she was very morose because she was not given any respect of a first wife, right? Uttanapad never considered her. She was like living in that palace, not known to many, right, of her existence. But even then, her faith in the Lord did not. She had full faith. She was God conscious internally. That is why when Dhruva Maharaj came to her, she said, yes, the only solution is you have to take the shelter of the Lord. She guided him because that God consciousness was there within her. That is why she could guide him the right advice, that yes, take the shelter of the Supreme Lord. That is the only way where you can get a solution. So similarly, when it says that tolerant means externally what is happening, that you should not injustice if it is happening, they have told us to be tolerant, don't become vulnerable. This is what we do, not become vulnerable to others, but at the same time the faith, things are happening to me, what is the use? I am chanting every day, but what, every day one or the other miseries is come to, there is no use of chanting. No, that is also not correct, right? So don't be vulnerable to the external things, but internally that firm faith of God consciousness, that Krishna is there for us. He will protect his devotees. That is the power of that. It is said that the sun, He's so up high, right? So many distance away. But then his energy is sufficient in us for the people to survive. If we do not have the sunlight, can we survive? No, right? So that's similarly the holy names, which is in the spiritual world, which is full of that energies. When we chant with when we use our senses to chant the holy name, to hear the holy name, to hear the glorify, the Sat Chit and the Ananda potency, right? It helps us to remove all the impediments slowly and gradually, right? So we should not be vulnerable. At the same time, internally, we should not give up our faith. That is how we should be tolerant. So here we see how Prithu Maharaj, he tolerated his any inconvenience to himself, he tolerated it for the benefit of the people, right? But if the things were not uh, conducive for the country, kingdom, of course, he would take action. So in other words, it is the duty of the leader to look after the comfort of the citizen. But now our leaders they look after their comfort. Any crisis happening, they are in the comfort zone, and sitting in the comfort zone, they do not come onto the ground. But the king does not bother about his comfort. He is there in the forefront. When there is a war, it is the king who is leading his army. But now at present, the president, he sits there and he sends his soldiers ahead. That is the present situation. So in this Kali Yuga, for the kings and the head of the state enjoy life at the cost of the taxes that are taken from the citizens. So what do? People are also smart enough. They will file tax returns. Is it? Every way they will do. They to file the tax returns. And as a result, what happens? The states suffer. There is no sufficient fund. And in return, the people suffer. They do not have sufficient protection. So this is just like a cycle. So here say eventually the state will not be able to collect taxes and consequently will not be able meet the huge demands of the military and administrative expense. Everything will collapse and there will be chaos and disturbance. So in short, the summary what we learned is Prithu Maharaj, he was the best amongst the followers of Dharma. He engaged everyone into Dharma. He gave protection to Dharma and he chastised those who did not follow Dharma. As thus, he could maintain the upper planetary system as well as the lower planetary system. How? By maintaining each department as the leaders would maintain it. Then just as he would collect taxes, but he would return it to the people and use it for their own benefit. As the sun evaporates water for 8 months and releases water for 4 months as monsoon. So similarly was Prithu Maharaj taking taxes and they will give them in needs when they are in need. Tolerate. Out of his causeless mercy, he forgot and forgive even to the people who would cause damage to him, trample over his head. That is, he would bring them back. It is not the forgiving means he would train them back and get them into the proper path. This was a quality of a leader. With that, I end the session. Grantaraj Shrimad Bhagavatam ki jai. If there are anything to be added, you may do so. Any questions? You're welcome. Hari Bol. If no questions, then can I ask one question? Yeah, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Dandavat Pranam Mataji.
Pranams Mataji.
Mataji, regarding tolerance, just I want to repeat day 4 yesterday's class also. Tolerance, we will how we can take this. It was said that it is an opportunity to become more and more humble also, Mataji. So yes. Every time if in our material life, every time padam vipadam only, Mataji, in this Kali Yuga. So we cannot trust anybody. So in such cases, every time we feel that how to tolerate, that is the question, it goes on. Sometimes we feel that it is ulta of spiritual lessons, what all we are hearing in the class. Yeah, as soon as we switch off this, we are getting into a ulta world. So it's very difficult, Mataji, but this point has, we can put it in practice. I felt, Mataji, by my own.
Yeah.
Maybe we do not know when we get that state of holding this tolerance, become to tolerate. So we should take it as it is a testing test paper for our chanting, what we do, and what all the reading of Bhagavatam also, how far we are reading with faith. This is the test paper we should feel. I felt that day, and slowly, please bless us all to put it in strong practice, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Very nice realization, Mataji. Yeah, that is what. No, it also say we should be. Association is also very important, Mataji. Associate with like-minded people. Associate with the devotees. So this will empower you and help you to advance. Something where it is not possible to take it, go away from that path. Sometimes you have to let go rather than adjusting to fit yourself into it. You will lose yourself. So it is better move away from that which is hampering your devotional service. Hare Krishna. Hari Bol. Who will
Hare
end the
Krishna,
session?
Mataji.
Yes,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna,
Hare
Mataji. I just have a small question, Mataji. No, I just the 2-3 days back, what the news we heard about that terror attack, Mataji. I'm not supposed to talk or no, I don't know. That situation of that lady who lost her husband. So how can she react to all this, Mataji? When we talked about tolerance today in the class, how can we take the help of scriptures, Mataji, and how can we move on, Mataji? But
yeah.
the sad state
Mataji,
is that we cannot
they're targeting only the Hindus means what is this, Mataji? Terrifying. Targeting only the Hindus and they are killing.
It is not only that, Mataji. We should, the thing is that this is only to create a hatred amongst the people. It is, there was one protest in that one person, Muslim guy, he was holding a placard which is written that condemning the WAC Act. And then later on, the social media asked him, what is the meaning of this? Do you know what is it? He himself did not know, So they're taking it. These are just political game that is being happening to rule. So this is a big game wherein they are taking.
Poor people are
Yeah, the poor
victims,
people are affected. So
They are
in that,
brainwashed also, Mataji.
yeah.
The poor
So
people are
really,
brainwashed.
yeah. This is a very precarious condition wherein we should this is where you have to tolerate, and not ignite that hatred, because we suffered many years back. That should not repeat. This is nothing to do with any particular religion or that. It is just the politics that is being happening for them to rule. So we should it never talk about that there are rulers who know very well about what is happening, why the people are agitated with this act, and how they will be affected. And because to to show their like dislike to the decision, they thought they have taken the support of this Hindu and Muslims. We should not. There was never Prabhupada. Did he did any discrimination between to give the holy names? It was available to all. Sama. That is what we read. Sama sarva bhuteshu, sarveshu bhuteshu, sama sarveshu bhuteshu. So we should understand that these are all political games and nothing to do with various caste or religion. No, it is not. That is what we should understand. That is where Prabhupada said, no, bring Krishna consciousness. What is religion? What is dharma? First, that we should know. When we do not know that, then is where this is coming. you are of this caste, you are of that caste. That is not the rule. That is not the law.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Can we understand that it was that person's karma or something like that, Mataji?
We can say that it was its karma that all collectively gathered. There were certain people also, who were saved also. Right? There were a family of 11. They were in a restaurant, but then the food which they got did not have, it was too salty or something like that. So they gave the order. They told them to repeat the order. Otherwise, they were to go to that. As a result, they missed that bus, and they were saved. So everything has a reason. But then, that is, I said, the restriction, the free will was not utilized in a proper way. They have utilized it for their own benefit, for their own material desire. That restriction was not there.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. So this is
Naimisha
very
Mataji has a
precarious
question.
condition wherein we should not discuss about, it is not correct. It is all politically motivated.
Yes, ma'am. No, Mataji, seeing that we just felt very
This would
disheartened.
come. This discussion will come. There will be arguments between many. But yes, let us
Thank you,
follow
Mataji.
the instruction given. This verse itself, what we said, Prabhupada is telling, right? That Krishna consciousness is one of the verse. It is said to all the disturbances, it is only Krishna consciousness that will help to control and bring down this chaos and disturbances. Empowerment is required.
Still there is, so much lot of time, Mataji, in the Kali Yuga waiting actually for like 27,000 years are remaining still. So if this is the state now, so very.
Furthermore, it will be even worse than this. Shrimad
Yes, ma'am.
Bhagavatam says. It said in one of the verses, it is written in Shrimad Bhagavatam, the people have to leave away everything and go into the forest. That will be the condition. So these things, there is death happening every day. We are under threat every day in one way or the other way. This will keep coming. That is what is this material world is about. So better we concentrate into our spiritual, we chant the holy name, do our prescribed duty, and then we move forward.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Not to be disturbed. These disturbances will be there. One of today, this, tomorrow, another one. For how long are we going to repent and discuss and waste our time? Do our repair. Yes, we have our full heart goes for that. What we can do, we can pray for them. But indulging in those talks, is it going to contribute to the decision that is being taken? Just think over it, Mataji. That is my view.
Mataji.
Others can also have their own.
Mataji, I just, in connection with this, I just wanted to ask Mataji, because 2 days before, yesterday, Mataji, there was class of Kalasudha Mataji. So she narrated a story where that eagle carries that dead snake. So that how, to whom the karma goes. So are we
false
also incurring
information.
that karma when we...
That is what I'm the false information. That is what I think. Even false information carries sinful reaction.
Yes, Mataji, lot of takeaway point for today. So let us not ask.
Yes.
But some clarifications and justice, Mataji.
Yeah, no problem. Clarifying your doubts to progress spiritually, good. It should be done in that way.
Not only the false.
Refute.
Sorry,
Yes.
Mataji.
No,
Not
tell
only
Mataji.
the false information. I heard in one lecture that if we keep on telling that this person has done a mistake, keep on telling, even though when they have done the mistake, once we can tell, but not repeatedly when we can't tell to someone. It is also that we take their karma.
Karma.
Yes.
This, when somebody comes in an anger mode, don't take that anger within you. You be calm. Let that anger be with that person itself. Why take it over you?
Difficult, Mataji, to
It is difficult, but not impossible, no, Mataji.
Correct, yes.
With
Slowly, by
practice.
hearing these lectures, we can change.
Kali.
Yes, correct.
Prabhupada immediately did not induce them, right? He lived with them in that condition.
Okay.
And he set an example for them. And they followed him.
Needs lot of practice, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Needs lot of practice.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Mataji,
Krishna.
two Matajis have raised hand. Is it okay, Mataji? Naimisha Chandrika Mataji, you can ask question. Hare Krishna.
Maybe for reading she had.
I see, yeah, I think it was for reading.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mataji, she raised hand for reading. Sorry, Mataji.
Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
yes,
Okay,
no
Divya
problem.
Mataji has raised her question, hand, Mataji. Mataji, you can ask question.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, pranams. Mataji, yesterday while reading Srila Prabhupada Lilamrita, this unknown friend, right? In that, Srila Prabhupada writes letters to Gandhiji relating these political issues only. And he says that let's give 1 month, let's meet 1 month, we'll sit together, we'll read, we'll chat like that and all. And he somewhat like he's predicting that the future of Gandhiji. And today's lecture also, Mataji, when you said that these taxes should not be used for the for increasing the salary of a particular person, like political. It looks like as if Srila Prabhupada is having this like he's saying, yes, no, Mataji, that was a realization.
Yeah. Thanks, Mataji, for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Hare
Wonderful.
Krishna, Mataji. Then we will end with the session, Mataji. Thank you so
Yes,
much for the
Mataji.
wonderful session.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Vancha Kalpata.
Koti Vaishnavi ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, jai.
Thank you, Mataji. Dandavat pranam.
Hare Krishna. Dandavat pranam, Mataji.
Thank you,
Thank you so
Mataji.
much.
Hare
Dandavat
Krishna.
pranams.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Radha
Thank you,
Mataji,
Mataji.
you
Hare
need to
Krishna.
end the meeting, Mataji.
We can end.
Thank you,
Yes.
Mataji.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Bol. Thank
Krishna,
you.
Mataji. Thank you.